Rahul?
Yep, let's go for it.
Amazing. So, welcome to the Halloween edition. Those of you who came a little bit late, you missed me dressed up as Gandalf, but we've got a lot of what I've been told tricks. No, not tricks, treats, not tricks for today's Halloween edition of the webinar. So we do these weekly, and this one is going to be an overview of all of our AI voice features known as AVA. I'm just gonna go. So I've got a lot to go through today. We're gonna speak relatively quickly. I'm gonna keep most of the questions till the end, if you don't mind, because there's just a lot to cover, and I want to make sure I get through all of it. This is gonna be an in-depth look at the AVA application, and then we'll go into, if I do it in the right speed, we'll be able to then go back and talk about all of the different things that you want to see and ask questions about. All right. So we'll just go that way. If we can just keep the questions to the end, I would love that.
And
So to
be
start off, we are Thinker.ai. That's the name of the company, and our mission is to make AI absolutely accessible, easy to use for all businesses. In fact, our slogan is AI voice made simple and businesses made better. So AVA is our AI voice platform. It's where we make our inbound, outbound calling, and we make that really with our UI and our UX and the way that we think about things. We call it Apple-esque. Very simple, very easy to use, and in a way controlled so you can count on it, but yet using the intelligence of AI. We do integrate with CRMs. So GHL is one of our first integrations, but definitely not our last. And Nico is our best of class AI voice CRM integration. It's our GHL offering built with our own bespoke thinker AI technology within it to make it and differentiate the experience that you have. And you'll see some of that today and absolutely want you to leverage as much as you can. So our agenda today is we'll do a quick round of intros just to make sure everybody, because there's some new faces on this call. So those who don't know me, I'll just introduce myself, and then we'll go into a feature walkthrough. Like I said, I've got uh, kind of this really highlight reel of features to go through and explain to you. And then we'll go into some Q&A at the end, and even maybe some live demos and do some things together. I know there's been a lot of questions about various things that's also related to like how to go to market with AI voice, and we'll talk about that as well. All right. Um, so without further ado, my name is Mohan Gulati. Most of you do know me, but those of you who don't, I am the CEO and co-founder of Thinker.ai, working here with great team and partners. So, of course, Rahul, you guys know Rahul. Rahul, you want to say hi?
hello.
Hey, got
My
Rahul on
I
the
think my
team.
intro is a hello. We'll get to know each other along the way.
That's the guy with the LA Lakers hat. We've got Alima. You want to say hi, Alima? Alima is
Hi
one of our
everyone.
AI experts, automation experts,
Yep.
and Mohammed as well, who you see is a black spot, Thinker.ai. He's also one of our AI and automation experts. All right. So I'm going to keep going and charging ahead. I'm going to start with those of you who have had the opportunity to look at Ava. And this is the first screen when you log on to Ava that you're going to see. And what I want to highlight here is that Ava comes with lots and lots of capabilities, and you can navigate all of that through there. So all of your inbound agents, we have inbound calling, which you can see here on the right-hand side that you can access. There's also the concept of outbound projects, okay? So an outbound call is a project and an inbound call is an agent that you can use as a receptionist right now. The navigation is broken down into, you've got your core four areas within the application that you can navigate. I'm going to walk through all of those with you. And then, yes, you can see the integrations that's part of our strategic play here in thinking. The one thing I want to call out here is that you can see analytics already. So if you come into AVA application, you can see how many campaigns you've run, how many bookings you've got, and this is just the start of our analytics that you're going to be able to get from the back end here. All right. So let's go into where we're going. So I've talked about GHL integrations. How do we leverage GHL? So there are three core pieces. First, we leverage the calendar. We use the GHL calendar, and you can access that, and it's imported and it's synced, and your all of your meetings are booked right on the calendar, right? So it's end-to-end seamless integration, both inside of GHL and inside of Ava. And then we have all the contacts. So your contacts that are in GHL can be imported in to AVA and vice versa. So this flow keeps things in sync and allows you to be able to use the tool both from within the CRM, but also within AVA. And the last place that we kind of have done integrations, which is really where the imagination is goes wild, is with actions, triggers, and webhooks. And particularly with actions and triggers, where you can plant the inbound calls and the outbound calls in there. And those of you who have tried it, you can see all that working. So this is where we started. And through that integration, we have integration with Google Calendar, with Outlook, with Gmail, with Zoom, and now Microsoft Teams as well, right? So all of that integration capability comes as part of this integration. But we're not stopping there, guys. We got more coming. So we got more CRM integrations on the horizon. Rahul actually let the cat out of the bag earlier this morning when we talked about HubSpot. HubSpot's definitely on our roadmap for integrations, but there are others too. So calendars and events integration. Anybody have heard of something called Luma? No? All right. What's the other? EventBrite. Have you heard of EventBrite? Yeah. So these are tools. So guess what we're going to be doing? We're going to be integrating with those kind of platforms to give you true event integration. We're integrating with no-code platforms, Make, Zapier, all of those. You'll be able to use AVA within those inside of your automations and your workflows. And then lastly, we're moving into an area of exploration, which is around note-taking software and integrating that into AVA in a way that you can have notes part of your data set that you have on your clients. So all of this is in our future and what we're working on. And you get to see that right here. The other thing you can do is you can have contacts, as I said, inside of AVA, and that's all navigated here in the contacts and I'm gonna just turn on my nice lifty little red pen here, laser pointer. So from the navigation, you can access your contacts, manage them, add them, edit them. Every contact, you can actually add insights to them. You can do that here. You can import them from Nico. Nico is the connector to GHL. That's what it does for you. You can also upload them through a simple CSV file, and you can add contacts manually. And yes, you can search through them. We have pagination, all the key features to be able to maintain your contacts in here. And the other thing you can do inside of AVA is you can manage phone numbers. These numbers are Twilio numbers, and we work with Twilio right now. I've had a number of questions around that, not including Lead Connector. But the one thing when you come in, we want to take away all the friction, right, to get started. So that when you start and you log into AVA for the first time, the first thing we offer you is the option to either port your own number from Twilio or get a new number. Okay, and that new number is something that we provide to every account, which means the friction to get started was removed. That's a conscious decision as part of our ability to make sure that you don't have to wait to start using this. So when people ask me a question, how long does it take me to get started? It literally can take a half an hour because we've removed these types of friction points. And the wizards really, actually, I like this so much better than going to Twilio and just using this because it's so easy to use. And then you just put in the area code that you want to search for, get the numbers. It usually show some locations here as well. And then you just add that in here and set up the phone number. If you add it manually, you will have to add the phone number, the account ID, and the authorization token that you get from Twilio to do that. Next, we don't stop with just one phone number. You can have as many phone numbers as you want to have added to this. The reason for this is clear. You might want a lot of receptionists. You might want to have logic that, where you call, depending on the state that you're doing it or the province, and have logic that allows you to do that. That's part of what we built this around, that flexibility, so you can have that capability to do as well. Outbound calling. I already started talking about this, but what is an outbound call? So we call a project for outbound calling, and you can think of it as a use case that you're going to make. And our use case is composed of three things. One, the AI voice that you want to use, okay? The agent, the scenario, the framework that you want to use, and then campaigns. Campaigns are the group of people that you want to call within a certain time period, okay? These three things compose a project. when you look at the project from the home screen, you're going to see that when you add a project, it's going to be shown in this grid-like view. And the more you add, you'll be able to search by project name. You can create a new project by clicking on add the new project. That's why you'll see two kind of pieces of information. One is the name of the project you have here, and the actual framework they're using, the scenario that you pick. So standard scheduler is one of our common ones, and you'll see other ones that I'm going to walk through right now. Okay. So when we look at creating a project, the next step would be to choose that framework that you want to use. So when you click on create new project, you give it a name and you pick a scenario. Those scenarios are broken into these 5 classifications right now. We'll be adding more classifications, more. In fact, we're adding about one, on average, 1 to 2 a week almost, so that you'll see more and more of these come through. I'm going to walk through the ones that we have today in there. We've got scheduling scenarios. These are anything where you book a meeting on a calendar. You have confirmation scenarios, such as confirming events, the ability to qualify, the qualifying users on a call before you take the meeting. Event scenarios, things that are tied specifically to how do you do event management, both before the call, for invitations, for confirming, and then after. And then, yep, we've got industry-specific scenarios. Particularly, you're going to see some HR ones, you're going to see some real estate. We've also got sales calls that you can do as well with this. So let's go through them one by one really quickly. My absolute go-to scenario is the standard scheduler. It's the easiest to use, it's the simplest to use, and it allows you to book a meeting with ease. There's 4 major fields that you need to fill in: the greeting, any kind of introduction text, why you want the meeting and the reason for the appointment, and then what is the value that the recipient on the call is getting. You provide these 4 pieces of details, and then some other kind of metadata about your company, who is representing, and how long you want the meeting to do. We take care of the rest. Again, you'll see here a sync that syncs to your calendar in GHL, so it picks the calendar from there that you want to use. And you'll see on the side of this events and schedulers, that's the classification. So these are classified for both. You can use this for both events, for schedulers, and for booking appointments on calendars. We created this scenario called the custom multi-topic scheduler because people were asking, when I want to make a call to somebody, but I'm got the number from somewhere, right? And I want to make a reference. So and so this is where you have the partner context plays into it. Gave me your contact and I want to reach out to you. By the way, I'm an expert in these 3 things. You don't have to put in 3, you could just put 1, but up to 3 things. And the rest will be taken care for you. Right. So this was one person that used this was in the mortgage business, and they were getting a list from real estate agents, and they wanted to reach out to those people and talk to them. So this was how they used that call, this scenario. It's one example. The next one is following up after an event. So when you have an event, you're gonna, like the one that we're having today, for example, we could afterwards provide, the profession of the person who's we're calling on behalf of, the name of the event, when did it happen. When you put the event, one of the things to think about is you're not just talking about a date in a calendar. You can use language like yesterday, especially, or this week, or so you can become very like conversational in how you kind of tell it, which is really cool because when you make phone calls, the more conversational, the more real they sound. Whereas, hi, we met you on March 16th, 2024. It doesn't ring, right? The event that you attended. Whereas the hackathon that you attended on the weekend. So you would put down the weekend here, right? So this is how you would use this type of, and it's really powerful. People, when they get the calls, they have immediate context. You set this up so that it's just automated to go on, like literally the day after or the day when the event finishes. You make that choice. So the proactive recruitment outreach is a really, really interesting scenario framework that you can use if you're in the HR business. And this was made for our HR clients who wanted to reach out to prospects, and they had a whole bunch of like industry information about the person they're calling, and they wanted to be able to come in and talk about the problem. this is what this does. So they have the profession, the representative name, the company name, the reason for meeting, but then they also feed in the insight information into there. The rest is taken care for them. And this is a beautiful, you know, script is the best word I can use for this. Similarly, for the real estate market, we created this engagement conversation where we call, and one of the things it would say is like, "Hey, we're reaching out to you to ask you about, you know, there's been movement in your market. We wanted to ask if you'd be interested in receiving our newsletter and update on that." And they would say yes, they collect their email, and they would say, by the way, are you interested in potentially selling your house? And as a result of that, we try to book a meeting with them if they confirmed. Otherwise, it would get at least a lead that would be added to their email list that they can contact. So this was made for the real estate market. These are giving you ideas of the types of scenarios that we can add and what you can be thinking about. All right. The next one is the attendance confirmation. Um, This is the marketing example rule that we have made in the drop down page. This is what it uses. So you literally say, I'm calling about an event and I want to confirm that you're going to actually show up at this event. Do you have any questions about it? People will ask tons of questions. The example that we have, people ask questions like, where can I park? Will there be, what's the dietary restrictions, et cetera, et cetera. This really gets them at ease, gets them excited about coming to your event. This is a really cool one. I like this one. This is based off of Alex Hormozzi's framework. It's a generic sales closer schedule. Uses a lot of like reflection language and allows people to come in and provide an introduction. You can even, state price. So this is actually trying to close a deal and act like a closer in a way. It's been heavily favored. People like it a lot, and what they've seen with it. A little bit more lengthy of a conversation, but that's because you are trying to close something on the call there. So that's the sales category, and it does book a meeting as well as a follow-up. All right, this is probably one of my favorites. This is the qualification scheduler, and I'm going to use this example again. So if you're in the gym niche and you've got a lead form out there and somebody fills that out and you're trying to qualify them before you even take the call, one of your questions could be, "Hey, have you had any health-related issues that might prevent you from, exercising?" If they answer yes, you have the disqualification question that you can say here and say, "Unfortunately, sorry, we cannot proceed." But if they don't say that, you can proceed. You can also do something called a capture question, which is where you can ask a question and say, what are your fitness goals? Right? If you say, my fitness goals are to, do X, Y, Z, that's capturing information for you that you now have in your arsenal when you actually get on the call with them with that meeting. So you've collected valuable insight that preps you for how to approach that conversation. And if you're using it for, the gym situation, to get them to become a member at your gym. That's not the end of it. There's more coming. Like I said, every week or two, we're adding more and more calls. One is the scenario around surveys, being able to go out and make survey calls, NPS calls. This is cool. You have a list of people that you want to invite to an event. You can also send out invites to them as well. So those are the things that we're working on. And I did let the cat out of the bag this morning as well, so I'll do it again here since it's only fair. But we're working on something called debt collections. So they'll call out and use that scenario as well, right? So I think everybody probably can find that useful because there's businesses all the time that have to collect on payments. Somebody actually suggested you have three different agents to call, one that's a nice one, 7 days later, someone that's a little bit more nastier, and then the next day is really nasty. So you kind of have this whole arsenal of different strategies when who calls. So that's, once you've got the scenario picked out for your outbound project, you want to be able to build these campaigns. And these campaigns are a collection of contacts that you want to call. In defining the campaign, every campaign can have a different assistant added to it. So a different voice that you can use. Again, strategically, if you segment your contacts, this is a great way to say, I'm going to call these people with my British voice, this one with a female voice, and this one with a South American voice, right? Because the psychology of sales and the psychology of scheduling meetings. People like to hear voices that they're familiar with. So that versatility is built into this, but you can also do a lot of A/B testing with this as well. So in other words, you can try different types of voices within this, and you can set different parameters, time of day to call, so you can do scheduling as well. So this is what the AI assistants look like. For those of you who haven't seen it before, this is the look for a inbound call, but the receptionist and the voices are the same, and they're all based on the ethnicity. The duration is set, like I said before, so you can go into the settings of any campaign and set how long the campaign will run for. You can select the time frame, so whether that's days, hours, or weeks, right? And then you can say, when are we doing that? So that's where the scheduler comes in. So when you click on this, it takes you to a calendar view where you can schedule and set the time and date. So in other words, you can come on the weekend and set up your whole week within Ava itself to automate that to go out. So that's one of the ways that Ava works. When you make a call, what are the statuses of a call that you can get back? So you have a callback. Callback is simply you're on the call. This happens to me all the time. I can't talk right now. I'm busy. And the AI will ask, well, when can I call you back? When would be a good time to reach out to you? And they go, well, maybe tomorrow afternoon. Great. Guess where that information goes? Back into the appointment property. So you get that as well. If a meeting is booked, that's a status where you get confirmation the meeting was booked. Sometimes people do hang up on phones, right? Anybody had that happen to them? I get it all the time. And sometimes you have a call that ends very politely, but there's no outcome that you're looking for. That's called complete. We do track voicemails, so we're about 85% accurate because people leave all kinds of, when you call voicemails and voice boxes, you'll have people that will like sing songs and do wacko things to their messages. That's the voicemail. So detecting voicemail is an art. We're about 85% accurate. The industry average is about 80%. So we've already like surpassed what the industry average is, and we keep on pushing the boundaries of that all the time. So you have two different types of status you can get back. One where the AI left a message, and one where it did not leave a message, and that's an option on the screen that you can do. And then you've got person didn't answer, which is also there's a couple other statuses, but these are the main ones that you'll have to deal with. And no. All right, let's talk about call history. This is absolutely one of my favorite features. So you made a call, you want to go back and you want to see what happened on that call. We have two places where you can do that. First, within the context of the campaign. And the reason why this is really important is because in the context of the campaign, you can click and open and see for this particular person, we attempted to call them 4 times. And we got voicemail the first time, the second time a voicemail, the third time they asked for a call back. But you know what? On the fourth time, they booked a meeting, right? And that's because we set the duration up to call back over a period of time or a period of hours. That's how this is working, right? And again, from the call history, you can get also the recording. So there's a playback, but also a download accessibility. And then you can see the entire conversation and transcribed here in front of you as well. So that's like within the context of the campaign. So you're in a campaign, you go and look at it, you can go and do a deep dive into it. But then you can go into the global call history from the navigation of the main thing. And there you have all the calls. And this is where we've enhanced the UI. You can see that it looks like something you might see on your iPhone with the messages back and forth. Really visual nice. You can see that what's coming. Again, letting the cat out of the bag here, but call summary. So you'll have a very nice summary of the call as well. Sentiment analysis is coming as well. You're gonna be able to see that here with a simple positive or not neutral or didn't go too well call. So you'll be able to get that analytics very easily. And then you see very clearly what the status of it was here. You can see which agent called. Was it an inbound call, an outbound call? You can also search by phone number, and you can even search text within the transcript if you know something you're looking for. By the way, by the way, this happens. The transcribe, the call history appears like literally seconds after the call is finished. So you're not having to wait like an hour or two. You can go in, check it, and see it pretty much by the time you navigate to the screen, it's there. It's pretty phenomenal. It's a powerful feature to have. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit now about the world of Nico or GHL and running a campaign and a project inside of within the CRM tool or within AVA. There is a distinction. We automatically create the projects inside of AVA for the ones for the calls that you execute within the CRM. Okay, and the way you can tell is it'll be always prefixed with GHL, and you go into them. You should just leave those alone. Don't touch them. Let them run. Those are the autopilot ones that we'll make sure visually that's clear as well. Right now, just take my word on it. You don't want to touch them. And what we do is we create a campaign for every month. So you'll see a campaign for October. You'll see a campaign for um, November, December, and so on. And you can go back same way and see all the calls that were made in the call history. One really good thing to keep in mind with this is we create a project based on the scenario. In other words, if you're using 3 or 4 different scenarios inside the CRM and you come back here, you will see those different scenarios, 3 or 4 of them created here as well. They'll all be like one-to-one relationship. Okay. So that's cool. Now we're going to talk about inbound calling agents. Those of you who didn't make it last week onto the call, we spent a lot of time talking about inbound. In fact, we built inbound agents. We launched it last week, and I'm seeing people build a receptionist in 10 minutes. In fact, it was like the challenge was go build it very quickly. And the reason why they can do that is because they just click on add new agent, attach that to a phone number, and then just fill in the fields here. And the fields here are basically, hey, how will the AI greet the caller? Any introductory text that you want to provide it, the name, the representative, the company, and then the information that you want them to collect. I want you to collect the name, the phone number, the email address. I want you to collect why they're calling, what services they're interested in. That's the kind of stuff that you put there. Key information is where you put anything about the company, anything that you want. Again, this is all text-based, read easy. Just put that in there. And then you put in the primary goal. In addition, you can add actions. You can have it given a receptionist the capabilities to book meetings for you. You can have it do call transfer, or you can have it send you a text, an email notification every time a call happens. So these are and this is starting off. There's more to come with actions, but that's inbound agents. All right. Here's the question I get all the time. How are Ava and Nico, how's Ava and the CRM related? So this is a very important image. I'm going to take a second to kind of explain this because there are a lot of questions about this. So in GHL, you log in, you have an agent. If you're an agency owner, you have the ability to see and navigate as an agency, but you don't log into that. You always have a sub account where you actually operate out of. That primary sub account is what you're going to first initially connect with Ava. All right. And that will be an instance of Ava that you're associated to that agency sub account. All your subsequent sub accounts that you add will have to be initialized with another instance of Ava that will keep track. And that's great because obviously if you have clients and they're using a sub account, you want to keep that distinct and separate from each one. So I wanted to show this. It becomes obvious when you see it like this, but if you haven't seen it before, it's like takes a moment to think about it, right? So I'm showing this so that we can kind of get that mental model into our mind and then follow it through. All right. Uh, if you got questions about this, I'll come back to it afterwards again, but this is definitely something that people have been kind of struggling to understand. So I think this image really clearly articulates how this works. Now, if you ask the question, wait, which sub account is that associated with? Well, if you go into the settings, you're going to see that here inside the company name. That's where you can actually find that. And you just connect that from the settings, which is again in the nav bar. Very easy to find. All right. I like this one. A lot of people have been asking about how do I do the management from an agency perspective within Ava. So it's coming, guys. In fact, it's coming probably early this next week. At the agency level, you're going to have the way to log in. So now you're going to actually be able to log in. So when I talk about agency level, now there'll be a new box shown up here, which will be your admin features and capabilities. And that's what this is going to look like, where you'll be able to see what the total amount was spent. You'll be able to mark up minutes. You'll be able to see the base minutes, and you'll be able to see all your sub accounts that are associated, the location ID, when they were added, what the wall balance is, and how much they spent, and you'll be able to search them. So this capability is like one of the missing things that you guys have been asking about. It's coming, and like I said, most likely early next week. Your sub accounts of your agencies will be able to attach their credit card to AVA, so that if they go over, they'll be able to get more minutes. And this is where your margin that you put on this will be associated with it. All right. We have a threshold that you'll be able to apply to it. So if it goes below the threshold, and you can set up the recharge amount as well. There's also another model that people use. Some people choose to use what's on the partner plan where they want to allocate minutes. You'll also have the ability to distribute and allocate minutes as well, which is really cool if your go-to-market plan is, I'm going to offer a subscription which includes minutes, and this is the amount. And then you can just allocate them across your sub account and manage it that way based on the package that they buy that you sell. The future is bright. I'm going to show you more of the roadmap. I've already talked about a lot of things coming, but here's some more stuff. So I talked about the CRM integrations. I talked about the calendar integrations. I talked about the no code platform and the note taking things. But guess what else we have? We're adding a whole bunch of new voices. So if you like the British voices, there's going to be more British voices. If you like French voices, it's going to be French. I heard Portuguese voices. They're coming as well. So we're going to be adding more and more voices for you to choose from and to have the versatility to choose on the air. So that's coming. Language. We're adding Spanish and French. In fact, I'm getting started on French next week. So it's really cool. These things are happening in real time. And then this has probably been one of the, I think Rahul, you asked me this question. Can you slow down the agent is speaking too fast? We're gonna have a whole bunch of nice things that you can set up and have fun and really make a bespoke, your own custom agent and have a lot of fun. So it's gonna be more like your style. If you want it to speak always happy, it'll be always happy. If you want it to be slow and dreary and scary, you can do that for your debt collection one too. So you're gonna have a lot of fun with this as well. We want you to have fun with AVA as well. It's not just all work. There's got to be some play. So this is some of the fun features that are coming out. But we really like what we're doing with inbound. And the receptionist was just our beginning. We are going to be adding more types of roles. One of the roles we're adding is the assistant, right? So you're gonna have assistant agents. I talked about what that means earlier today, and I'll say it again. Imagine you're in a meeting with a client, right? Now, this goes along with our vision. Our vision is really to make things easy for people, right? And you know, most of the business people that I meet, technology is a barrier, actually. I've heard people say, I'm not really good with technology, but yet they want to use and leverage technology. Well, you can make a phone call now with an assistant, and you call your assistant after you finish a meeting and say, I just finished my meeting with John, and I would like to be able to meet with him in 2 weeks on Sunday. We agreed to it. Can you just book that meeting for me? That's what you normally would call your assistant and tell them to do. Now you can call your AI assistant and tell them to do that on your behalf. And by the way, can you add a task that tomorrow we can review to write this email about the conversation we had? And here are my notes from the meeting. I'm going to verbalize them while I'm driving back home. This is the kind of activities that we envision happening with an assistant. Then we've got the call center agent. We know call centers need to have a lot of flexibility. You might need to pass it on to multiple people depending on who you're calling. So we're going to add multiple number call forwarding. We're going to add multiple calendars that you can integrate with and set the conditions for when the AI should book it on which calendar or which number to forward. These are just a sneak peek at some of the new features that we're working on underneath the hood. So I'm going to just share some videos of people that have had a chance to listen and experience AVA and show you some of their feedback. Cool. Is there anything about AI that you want to say? How do you feel about AI?
Well, now I feel more comfortable. Just like you are. I'm just more comfortable. I feel that, at least in my mind, I see how it saves me or how it will save me so much time. So say in my case, I travel a lot and I'm building on distance as well. So I can't always be in my office, or I'm mostly at the airport on planes or driving. And so if I can cut down what takes me 3 hours into 1 hour, or a 30-minute review or check-in, then that's already brings value, financial value as well to me.
Cool. And then here's Atticus.
Hey Mohan, I just wanted to say, even just the small bit of testing I've done so far has just completely blown me away. AVA is out of this world, and all of a sudden, just the possibilities are just opening up. Just how many different things we could do with this. Literally, the sky's the limit. I tested with one of my clients who happens to be my brother. He doesn't swear a lot, but he's like, holy, and I won't say what else he said, but it was that impressive. He was just blown away by the absolute realism and the ability to interact. And I hadn't even gotten down, half the stuff. I just kind of was tinkering around. And even just a little bit that I did was just amazing. Anyway, I am so excited to be working with this. I could just literally see the sky's the limit on this. Thanks.
Cool. So those are some nice testimonials that we got. Rahul, were you going to say anything on this?
Yeah, I mean, like, let's go whenever we're ready for the Q&A. I'm ready to kind of go through the list here from the members that are here today.
Okay.
But first, before we do that,
Hey, Mo.
Well, there's only one more thing. You know what?
Okay.
We can go into Q&A now, and I'll talk about this other thing at the end. Let's go
all
for
right,
it.
yeah. All right, so we got one more update, but right now I'm just gonna put it in the chat really quick. What's been your favorite update so far? If we can get like 2 or 3 shares to come off mute. And just come off mute, and if you talk over each other, that's okay.
Yeah, mine would be just the inbound calling, like just having the inbound calling option now, right? So, I mean, we came in for that, I think specifically. So that's whenever we entered into the conversation this past week. So we can
Awesome,
have,
awesome.
but we love it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. So like Scott said, the assistant, I think you DM'd that directly to me. Do you want to explain a little bit more, Scott?
Yeah, I'm trying to come off mute. Sorry. Yeah, no, when we came out with the assistant being able to do the inbound is crazy. We've already put the assistant on our front end as our receptionist for our company, and it's crazy what you can do with it.
Cool.
Oh yeah. And you like if you're allowed to share like without divulging too much detail what we spoke about earlier. I don't know if you're comfortable or not, or if it's too early. But you mentioned you had a
No, we're working with 2 different instances right now. One is a extremely large hospitality company, and that's off to the races. I actually had a call with them early this week, and showed it to him, and he's like, hey, let's roll this out and start talking. So we started that conversation actually after I talked to you today. And then I've got another company, which is a very large home services company that is already looking to roll out both inbound and outbound and replace their existing call center.
That's beautiful. Like now, just out of curiosity, what did you use to get your foot in the door for these bigger opportunities?
The same demo I used for everybody. When this came out, we took the initial demo from Mohan and built our own once we had access to it, put it on our site, and I send everybody to it, and then have built out several custom agents that we can test the verticals we're in. And we just send them the demo and say, if it makes sense, let's talk.
So is that it? Like you just send them a message and like a text or a call and saying, hey, I'm going to send you a link. If it makes sense, let's talk. Or how simple does it become?
That is literally all we're doing. Test us out. Tell us what you think.
That's awesome.
It doesn't really take a whole lot more, because normally I get the call kind of like everybody said. That's creepy, and it's crazy good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that approach sounds familiar.
Yeah.
You stole your playbook, Rahul.
Everybody's trying to ask me for these like crafty in the doors. I'm like, it doesn't get simpler. Hey, can you check this out? I'd love your feedback, or check this out. Tell me what you think. And that's it. And people are like, what in the world was that? And I'm like, it could be a new way of doing business for you if you're interested in hearing it. It really is that become that simple. But eventually it might not be that simple. I'd say like maybe like 12 months out, it might get a little bit more competitive than a simple text. But I mean, there's still a lot of businesses out there doing things the archaic way. So if you have the contacts and the reach that we can help you with, I mean, this is kind of a great differentiator. And it's also a good way, like, I mean, there's people that are part of the group that, like, I just spoke to Mason, a different Mason. We have a Mason on here too, but Mason A. And he completely changed his entire offer around the context of using this as the first angle in the door, just because it's so innovative and easy to get off the ground. Yeah, cutting edge, innovation, the buzzwords are all applicable right now. Where now his backdoor offer is the main offer. So his SEO and Facebook ads and lead gen is taking a second seat to this, so he can open up with a differentiation conversation to cold outreach or a network of outreach, even past leads that he's already presented, and come up with a new angle. And then when the relationship becomes built and they've done some commerce with you, they look up to you as like the trusted advisor. Then you can go back in and make the recommendations to your other offers and services should you want to. But it does take a lot of burden off delivery, that's for certain, because one of the conversations I had also with Mason was like, to perform SEO and run Facebook ads, it does take education and skill, and finding affordable talent has been a process. So
Amen to that.
yeah, yeah. So
Very good.
consistent. Yeah, because I mean, consistency is important, and typically the founders are typically the best, and knowledge transferring isn't always the easiest. But then you're left with the burden of customers upset. I got to talk to them, and then you're back to where you started. Is the hamster wheel analogy kind of applies again? So this just makes it a lot easier. It's also very, very fun because the conversation dynamics change, rather than hey, these ads don't work. Hey, the voice AI is so cool. What else can it do? So we're having like better conversations in the sense that, like, should you want to, you can package these things up into use case productized offers where it's like, hey, I want inbound agents only to handle certain scenarios. Cool. Here's the price for that. Oh, you want outbound? Well, we can do a database reactivation campaign. Here's what that looks like. So if you don't want to include, like, let's say unlimited use cases like we personally do, you can always itemize them too. So there's more revenue pools as long as the client's getting incredible value. That's also an option because we do that with our GHL things. Like, we don't necessarily sell the core four as a whole. We sell what is it that you want, and then focus and zone in on that. Some people only need reviews because they're falling way behind, and then our $500 a month offer applies to just reviews. Some other people may have a core four, like a cabinet company may be paying $1,000 because we're now utilizing everything, but we're also offering more than just a tool and a software. We're offering an experience where we'll help guide you through the way, by giving better service and being a little bit more proactive. And voice AI can help with that, so we can keep in touch with them to book appointments without spending our time. And in addition, it allows us to be that outlet to say, hey, when we originally discussed we implemented voice AI, would it be cool if we went over some recommendations that may have a revenue opportunity for your business? Like, if I asked any one of you that question, would you ever say no to that? I have some recommendations that can make you a bit more money. Anybody in here, put a 2 if
Yeah,
you'd say
no, of
no,
course not.
put a 1
Yeah.
if you'd say yes.
No, of course.
Not a
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, it's not really, yeah.
It's a biased question, right? But you already trust me, so now you want to know what's in my head. What can make you money? So those are some of the cool things that you can use as the leverage of this. Because when other, like, Go High Level came out, I pivoted and I used that as my lead in. Well, why spend the money on marketing guys like me? That would be silly. That'd be the dumbest thing on the planet because we'll fail you. We need to fix the foundation first. What if I can show you a way where we can build up some revenue, and we'll only focus off what you think are older leads? Would it be fair to say 2 weeks and over are older leads that we can recover? Cool. Well, let's launch a campaign. Let's focus on what you already have. You've already spent the money, the energy, the time, the staff, the training. Let's monetize those. And once we are able to, can we have the discussion of driving new leads, but then integrate it into the system that we've already built for you?
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's a quicker way than avoiding, like, I like to avoid like longer sales cycles when they're unnecessary. Like, if I'm talking about like $1,000 a month, like, gosh, I don't want to do 5, 6 follow-up calls. Like, that's frustrating, right? But then I don't mind doing 1 or 2, and then letting AI take over. But by 1 or 2, I should have already had the deal done anyways. And that's why I'm using foot in the door angles, because I have to use patience in a skeptical world. But now we have a cutting edge, innovative, whatever buzzword you want to attach to it, where it becomes a lot more simpler and it's easier to understand and it's tangible with this demo.
Nice.
Okay, let's
Any
go.
other questions?
Yeah, let me
let's
go through the
through.
Q&A here. I'm going to start at the bottom and I'll work my way up the chat.
That'd be great.
So support agents are going to be huge. Upload everything into the knowledge base and let it loose for you. Question mark.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so did that
So-
answer the absolutely? Did that already answer the question there? You can do that.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, it's like a statement more than a question, right, Rahul? I mean, envision you can take all of the questions that people ask about your business and have a hotline and have somebody who can intelligently answer that as an AI agent. That's what you're talking about here. Part of that's kind of built into the capabilities of a receptionist already. Because the receptionist can do more than just answer questions and be support. It can also book meetings and it can also go do call transfers, right? So, but yes, one that is bespoke and the goal is to be just a call center call center support center, is absolutely part of our plans.
Yeah. Dana, I'm going to come back to your question. I'm already scrolling up to some of the other ones. Mason, R Mason from Thinker/GSD. Where did you say? You said a good state. Okay. That doesn't mean take it easy right now. Keep the foot on the gas pedal. That's one of the most important statements we're going to hear of the night, in terms of your effort and your energy to take this to market. We definitely want to keep our foot on the gas pedal and keep our energy as high as possible. So that means like exercise, eat healthy, do the things that you need to keep your mind right, because that's going to be super, super important in this short gap of time, because wealth creation can happen in a short period of time with something like this. Let's see. Question: will we be able to rebill clients via GHL at any point, or do we need to add the client credit card details inside AVA?
And then for the voice calling, your kind of recharge on that, have to be done outside of Ava. Yeah.
Repeat the answer one more time so it's clear.
So in order to be able to have your margin and recharge your clients on the go as you pay plan or pay as you go plan, pardon me, you need to have a payment inside of Ava as well. So that's why it's set up there.
Okay, cool. Okay, ETA on call center agent.
Soon. Everything is soon. We're working
Yeah,
every
right.
day. Really
Soon
hard.
in your world seems to sometimes be like tonight, tomorrow. Like how is there any kind of can you kind of take
No,
me
I mean,
something?
yeah. I mean, we're working on inbound calling agents every day and adding more and more capabilities and new roles. The call center receptionist is probably easily 4 to 6 weeks out.
Okay. Now, like as far as the limits on upcharging rebilling amounts, is there any limit on that?
Oh,
What's that?
nope, there's no limit on that.
Charge anything? Okay, so here's a suggestion. Maybe
You can sell it, you can charge it.
yeah. Okay, so maybe add at the end of each function title that pops up context sensitive help.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Something that we'd love to do is make this more kind of intuitive. Hopefully not necessary for everything, but definitely agree that there could be more improvement in that area.
Okay, and then from Larry, we have ability to duplicate agents for faster setup of new clients in the same niche.
Oh, you're reading my mind. I want that too, but it's not on the roadmap yet. But could you submit a request for that?
I will.
Because I
The
can
more
already
I can
tell
convince my
Mohan
dev team that this is
Mohan wants them to see it from the community.
Just thinking about scalability. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
second that one from Larry.
Scott and I know about it. We've had a number of calls where we've done
Yep,
this.
we've talked about that one.
Okay, Don had a question. He was the first question of the night. Looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go back to it. I don't understand the relationship between the AVA contact and the contacts we are maintaining in a specific GHL sub account. For example, do I need to bring all my various sub account contacts into AVA?
You do not need to bring anything into AVA. You can just use GHL and never, bring any contacts into there. But if you do want to use Ava to make calls or to do calls, that's where it becomes versatile. Also, when you make a call, it will make a record of it so they can use it for the call history and reference the person. So you have that as well. So that's why it's just really about making it intuitive and almost one-to-one. But there is value if you ever create other integrations in the future with other products to have that contact center there.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Let me go back to the questions. What is the max amount of simultaneous inbound calls that can be received by an individual agent?
Um, Somewhere in the vicinity of 10 to 100. It depends on the time of day and the amount of traffic.
Okay, so 10 to 100.
Already, yeah.
Okay. Will the recordings will be posted where on YouTube, is it?
You know, we put them on YouTube eventually, but they first go up on the community center. So those of you who
Okay.
are in the community site, you'll get first access to that. But eventually it does, like we put it basically the next day up on the, sometimes it does take us 1 or 2 days, but we try to honor it and get it up the next day for people that couldn't make the webinar.
Okay, got it. And then for Dana, what are your thoughts about pricing for inbound and outbound agents? I'll go first, then Mohan goes second. You can match our pricing, match and mirror it, because then you can break even and then everything else is upcharged. If you want to isolate them, like our inbound reps are $500 a month, and if you do inbound and outbound, you get a discount at $750 per month. You can introduce a tech setup integration fee, so you can build out all their use cases for anywhere. If you want to go a little bit higher, you can go $3,000 to $5,000 for the integration fee if that's what the market can bear for the particular audience. If you're selling to a let's say a less wealthy audience that are a little bit more price sensitive, productized pricing works a lot better. Some of the conversations are kind of mixed and matched with us, where if we're hitting an industry, we have canned pricing. If we're hitting like a bigger opportunity, like let me use home services because we talked about that earlier, like a roofing company that has more than 5 locations, then we're doing something a little bit more custom because we're going to handhold them because they're going to have like an integration team or a marketing like representative that has that official title. So we would have a little bit higher of a integration fee. So probably in the range of like $10,000 to $15,000 and maybe like 1,000 a month as the empty shell software license. And then from there, they're using the minutes to we'll use our own rebilling of 18 cents plus, like probably like plus 6 cents or something based on how the volume of calls they're going to be making, because it'll be a high volume. If that was helpful, let me know if that was helpful. I typically like price it based off what the market can bear, because at this stage, I look at it from my overall overhead. If I'm paying $500 a month for my overhead of the business unit, for my franchise, if you will, then if I sell it for $100 a month, I have 5 clients to break even, 5 more clients to double. If I want to, if my market can pay $500 a month plus a setup of 1,500, then I'm already profitable instantly, quickly, and then I just have to do some math in a spreadsheet of like what kind of income am I looking to produce by when, and then just track like, all right, I need 50 accounts at this price level with these setup fees. So I can help like a pricing structure for on a separate Zoom for anybody that's interested as well. Because we give you guys scenarios on what you want to do, and then just get really good at one before you get good at all, because it all starts there. If I was brand new, let's say, and I had 0 clients, I would go with the lowest viable way to get market feedback in the door with a low price point and earn my way up to the big dollars. Kind of like maybe like a brand new attorney at a law school. If they started their own firm, they may be $100 to $150 per hour. They'll move up to $250 after a year. Then they'll be $550 to $850 an hour after like 3 or 4 years, because they have the volume of experience built in, and they've been there, done that, and they know their value by then. So that's kind of the model is prove ourselves, then we earn the big bucks. We call that a rookie contract in our world. When the rookie comes into the NBA, NHL, or any major league sport, you get your rookie contract, and then you earn your way based off you investing in your skill to get better.
I was expecting like a Dodgers example or a Lakers example, but okay, I'll go with. I like the fact that you mentioned
Yeah,
hockey.
unless you come from the Japanese league and you're Yamamoto and you come in as a rookie for a $75 million contract for 5 years,
That's a
totally
different.
different. We already got the
That's a different
experience, and we raised the price.
situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this really quickly because I know we're running out of time, and we're gonna
Yeah.
get to the rest of the questions. But in the chat here, Mason, who's
Yeah.
on here right now, has to bounce and go to an onboarding call for somebody that's enrolled. So that's how fast things move. We move fast as you do. But if you do have questions and you want to entertain this or need some additional help with how we help, book a call on that fireside chat link. You can have a quick call or a 30 up to 30-minute call with Mason, myself, and the team. We'll help walk you through all this stuff. Mason, if you want to say something before you go, then I'm gonna go back to the Q&A.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Well, yeah, I mean, this will be an onboarding for a guy we just closed like 3 hours ago. So we move quick. And we just want to get you guys helped out the way you need to be helped. So again, if you have any questions, Thinker AI, you want to discuss creative use cases, you want to go over the features, you want to get it set up, or if you're already set up and you need some guidance, hop in. I want to get you guys helped as much as humanly possible so that you can hit the ground running. Guys, like I mentioned earlier, this thing is selling itself right now, but that doesn't mean just take it easy and coast and take the easy small wins. It's like, like Navy SEALs, they might not be at war, but they're training like they're at war day in, day out. So you got to be selling like you're not going to make rent, at the end of the month, every single month. So keep that foot on the gas, baby. And let us help you. So I'm going to hop out, prep for this call, book on that link, like Rahul said, and let's get some shit done. Cheers.
Yeah.
So one more thing just before we end the call. I want to make sure everybody sees this. This is the so we're launching today our support hub. So we're getting a lot of emails directly or messages directly, which I absolutely adore, but I may lose track of things, and you may not get proper ETAs and all that. So my recommendation and what we launched this for this purpose is for you to submit any kind of issues, feature requests, and other things that you need. Go to the site. It's going to be a link on the community site. It's also going to be on our website. You'll be able to access our help page and create a support ticket. So that is live, and you can do that today. All right.
Awesome. Help.thinker.ai. So the link is there for the members. Go ahead and bookmark this, and you'll get even better support as well. Let me go through a couple more questions, and then we'll call it a wrap for today. Is there an update on the web app option for demo calls instead of actual billable minutes? That's from Raphael.
No, yeah, I mean, it's still imminent, but not yet available.
Okay. Next question is, what happens when the 500 minutes runs out on the instant setup account?
Oh, we're going to upgrade all those this weekend to your actual amount. So you get up to like I think those people that are on the 2000 will get the 2000, and the rest will be on an honor system. The billing is going to be in pretty quickly, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then let's see, ability to collect payments while the call is live.
I'm not sure I understand that. Oh, I see. Like actually get to pay.
Yeah, pay.
That was my,
Yeah.
yeah, that was my question. Let's say that there's an inbound call or an outbound call, and a product or service is being pitched, and the caller says, yeah, I would like to book a consultation. I understand it is fee-based, and I understand that it's $100 an hour, and I'd like to go ahead and book an hour. Can the bot go ahead and collect the payment?
It's a great feature request. Can you put that into the community and we'll take a look at it? But the answer is right now it can't do that.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, and one of the things with payment data, maybe Mohan, it could be sending an instant invoice that pulls from a field.
Yeah.
From
An
their,
invoice or a link or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because then I mean we may want to set up, like, let's say it's that example that you just mentioned, Dana. Like you could have a page where it's a static URL, like one of these invoices that you can have as a general template, and it can just pull and send that, just to keep it super simple.
So are there any more questions?
Well, Bill, with the support thing, I think there's a joke here. Where's the help agent? Well, don't worry. This thing will
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, the onboarding will be AI driven. There'll be, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
You'll see it like, yeah. I'm I'm building a prank call one for my friends. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Right.
not wasting the resources for that yet. I will though soon. Maybe on April Fool's Day next year. But yeah, no, there's some
Right,
like I
perfect.
said, like with prank calls, even that like it's limited to your creativeness or your imagination, and that was one of my playful requests. But they put that down the leaderboard of ideas. Not a very good idea.
Um,
Okay,
yeah,
presentation
it's a
slides. We're
question
gonna
of a
get that.
presentation.
For
Yeah.
presentation slides, like the ones that we've already delivered that are in the marketing hub, if you're already a member and you don't have access to that, just put a 5 in the chat. We'll add you right away, right now while we're
Yeah.
here, because we have a locked version. You'll see a little lock at the end, and if you click it and don't have access, that means you may not have been a member. And if it's by mistake, let us know and we'll add you. And if you click it and you get in, that means you already are a member, and you'll see access to like the memes, the slides, the videos, etc. So you can have at it, customize it, add your colors, slap your logo on it, etc.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and you'll be able to make your own demo pages, like one that I have like already in front of us that like what Mason had made. I don't know, Mason, I saw you hop on here. Are you on here, Mason A?
He hopped on and hopped off pretty fast.
Okay, give me if you don't, can you stop your share and then we'll go back to your screen share?
Sure.
I'll just show you like how quickly he took it to market. So he's working with roofers. I don't know, can you see my screen right now? This roofer,
Yep.
like it looks identical to ours. He added this little extra content, etc., just to make it abundantly clear to his particular target audience. But it's surprisingly or not surprisingly similar. Is just not typing to this, right? So he just used this black bar area for his own. So you'll have your own demos upon enrolling if so you can go right to what Scott's doing, and what we recommend Mason to do is just literally text people saying, "Hey, check this out. Want to get your feedback." And that's how quickly prospecting can work today. And then when it stops working, we'll have another bag up our tricks so we can dominate even more. Okay, let's see. Last question from Bill. Okay. I'm gonna hold you to it if this is the last question. Bill. Let's see. How long on average for a simple setup to go live, including A2P for customer expectation settings? I like this question.
Well, I mean, A2P is has nothing to do with AI voice, right? So I kind of always get that question. It's about SMS, and that's also within the US. So I can't control that. I think that takes somewhere from 2 to 5 business days to get that process. But I can tell you to set up Ava and get this up and running. And you saw what Mason had there, within the day, literally within the day, up and running, up in minutes. Yeah, I mean, Scott's got it kind of right there. It can go that fast as well. I
Once
just
you
don't want
have
to.
it, yeah, it comes down to once you have it and play with it and get your onboarding, you'll now realize how quickly the time frame becomes dependent specifically on you, not necessarily on us, because it's already built there. So it's meant to be simple. Like Mohan said earlier, we've done so many lives today. I can't even quantify it. But it's built like Apple. It's just meant to be like open it, use it. It's not like an Android where you can customize it to the nth degree and all this, that, and the other, but it might take a huge amount of learning curve to get onboarded. This is just like click, point, and you're done. That's really what it's meant to do, is make it easy for users. So adaption and using all the features not only becomes enjoyable, you feel like you're a developer with codeless code. You're just typing like you would in an email. But most importantly, you get sticky to it and believe in it, but then your customers that implement it, they don't have friction in the way either, so they stay longer. $1.15. There you go. For a new phone number. Cheap.
I know right now it's through Twilio and it's not part of the system that we can bill for the phone number, but and really $1.15 is not really anything to worry about, really. But I anticipate some of our clients are going to want to have like 10 phone numbers. Again, another $15 is not a big deal, right? So it's nothing, no sense in like tripping over pennies, but just a curiosity whether we'd be able to eventually charge for a phone number. So if it's coming, because you were saying, Mohan, I believe that it's going to be coming into the platform, I think, where we'll be able to buy additional numbers through Ava. Is that correct? If I heard that
That is
properly last time.
Yeah, we're working on that too, but that's a little bit ways away. But you're right. Like,
Sure.
I think it's so much easier to do it, to be honest with you. So once you have that credit card payment ability, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to even charge for the phone number like a .ai domain name, right? Like they're like $79.99 for a year.
it.
You know what I mean? So those are all good questions. You can find margins in here in anything we do. I mean, just the other
I
day,
agree.
I gave a guy an option. He wanted to back up his website, and I just said, look, if our guys do it, and I put myself as the evil positioner, and I just said, look, if our guys do it, it's $850. That's a lot because you can probably get your host or registrar and pay them like $50 for a backup service, but I can't really attest to anybody because I don't know who they are doing it, whether it works or doesn't. Out of the two options, which one do you want to do? And he's like, I trust you more. Just do it. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. So people are willing to pay for extra help when I give them both options, but because I'm not trying to hide behind anything, I want them to know if I have to do my effort, it costs significantly more. If you do it yourself, it might take you a couple hours to get a hold of somebody, but it's way cheaper. And he opted to say, just VIP it for me. So setting up a number could be the same thing, saying, hey, if you want to set it up, just get it over to me. Or I can do it for you. We just have a fee for that, if that's helpful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I see a name on this list that it's an old friend of mine. Is this Bernard Dietz that I know?
That'd be wild if it's
You
not.
bet, my friend.
Oh, wie geht's? Nice to
Ist
see you here.
nicht schlecht. Ich
Nicht
wollte,
schlecht.
wollte mal hören, was ihr so treibt. It's fucking
Awesome. Good to have you
insane.
here. We have to have live translation on here for everybody else who doesn't speak German, but it's
Oh, yeah,
awesome.
of course you have that as well. Yeah, why I'm not surprised.
We'll get there. Don't worry. Good to see you. Welcome.
Yeah, good to see you. So yeah,
Let's connect after
but
this.
I might be contacting you. I don't know how that could help us, especially on the lighting side, but I mean, it sounds rather amazing.
Awesome. We'll be in touch. I can't wait to tell you everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The only German I know is Bundesliga.
Of course, because you were tapping into the sports already earlier.
That's all I'm good for is sports analogies. Anyways, in closing, like if you do want that call, you'll be on with Mason, one of our guys, really good, really nice, incredible with customer service, sales, and knows the product very well. So he can help guide you if there's two options. Number one, if you're new to this, new to Thinker, and not a member, book a call and you can learn about it even more. And if you already are a member and you need some strategies and guidance, you're more than welcome to also book. Just make sure that if you do, please do show up on time, ready to go with a pad of paper on Zoom, with photos on, because then he'll guide you through it because he'll be taking a lot of time away to help. So just want to be respectful of your time and his, but we're happy to do that as well. Does everybody know how to get to these webinars easily? Because we're posting them, like we're going to be using the communities a lot as much as possible. I love the closed network of it. So there's an events tab on the top
Yeah,
of
let me
it.
show it. Let me
Yeah.
show it to people. Yeah, just so that everybody can kind of take this away when they come. But yeah, this is the community site. It's open to everybody, and if you want to join, but it is require admission. So in other words, we have to approve you. We're pretty generous right now, so anybody who wants to get on can come on. But to the point that Rahul just made, all of our events, we're gonna be just putting them in here, and we just put the first one in, but they're gonna be booked out all the way into like December. So you're gonna see repeat on Thursday, all of our basically this time. And should we add anything that's kind of like off the the regular schedule, we'll also post that here. You also, if you're on the newsletter, huh?
Sorry, be ready for off schedule stuff because there's going to be more coming at you. Some of them will be coming from marketing and sales.
Wait, you mean I'm gonna get more phone calls from you that I have no idea why I'm getting on the phone call, and you're gonna say go on this Zoom link?
Yeah, no, you won't have to attend. I'll be hosting the sales and marketing ones. But as we know,
All right.
those will be members only. But yeah, like click it really quick. I just want to show you how to use this because it's somewhat new to some people. Maybe you haven't used communities as much. You can obviously copy the link and paste it in the browser, but the smarter
Right
way to
here.
do it is just click the add to calendar button. That will be the best way to do it because it'll literally just put it inside of your calendar for you. Nice and clean. There you go. It's one click from your calendar, your phone, whatever. It's all all in there.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Very cool.
Yep. So just keep an eye on that calendar and that event.
Nice. All
Okay.
right.
All right, well-
And by the way, there's all the other stuff in this community as well, right? That we can talk about and let people know. So the events there, but also all of the materials, and tips and tricks, and you can get lots of immediate answers. So, we're excited to have people on there.
Yeah, and if anybody
Yeah.
wants to invite anybody that finds relevancy in this, please invite members. We live and die off you guys too. Word of mouth is still a thing. So I'm just gonna make a blunt ask if you guys can invite 2 to 3 people to next Thursdays, that'd be incredible. And if anybody likes the product, they've used it enough, please give us and submit a video testimonial of you using it, maybe with it in the background of your own version of it, or just a straight talking head. That'd be incredible. That will help us a lot as well as we start to grow this business as a community together. Okay.
All right.
Awesome, guys. All right.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yep. Have a good rest of your Thursday. Happy
Yeah.
Halloween. Diwali for those that celebrate.
Ciao, ciao.
All right, bye, guys.